to Donnie Jones Live. I am certified arborist Donnie the Tree Lady hanging out with
Marty McFly. You just gave a whole new title and everything. You're a certified arborist.
I am a certified arborist.
How do you get certified being an arborist?
Well, because an arborist is someone that loves and take care of trees. But a certified arborist is somebody that is certified to do so by the International Society of Arboriculture. And I have one of my customers actually 2 days ago that was like, Donnie, why don't you tell people you're a certified arborist? That's one of the main reasons why I like having you take care of my trees is because you're a certified arborist. So I said, okay, fine. I'm going to own my stuff.
You know what? You might as well, because I got a few people in my neighborhood that are certified where I just say they're really good with trees.
Okay.
You know, and they know all the Stevia, what is it?
Stevia, what?
Yeah, you know, they say this kind is good for the head. Some kind of
tree are you talking about?
Yeah, the body, you know, we're talking about that a little bit later
I'm not messing
on.
with you.
I'm saying, but they certified.
That ain't the kind of trees I'm talking about. I'm talking about the things that grow out of the ground.
They grow out of the ground.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the trees that you plant.
They plant them too.
Okay, I'm talking about the things that you sit up under to get shade and to... They sometimes
you feel
have
shady sometimes.
Oh my goodness!
But anyway,
I'm done with you, man. How was your weekend, dude?
You know what? My weekend was great. I finally got a chance to see the End Games, the movie and everything.
Dude, what I know.
Yes, I was happy about that.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's so
good.
So
so for the people that haven't seen, I don't want to do any spoilers.
We ain't gonna do no spoilers.
I'm gonna just say it was good.
Dude, it was off the chain.
I liked it. So.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I'm a mommy. Okay, so being a mommy, I put my daughter on punishment because she did something that frustrated me. And I said, we ain't doing nothing this weekend. We're going to do da-da-da-da. And then online, I went on Facebook to post some stuff about, our show and what we're doing and everything. Mm-hmm. And I kept seeing, these little posts about End Games. I was like, I want to go see it. And I was like, I can't go see it by myself without my babies. So I took her off punishment and, we all went to go see End Games. So, I'm the worst mom in the world, man. My kids know. I feel like they go 3, 2, 1, we're off punishment. Because I put them on punishment and then I find a reason to take them off.
Real quick,
yeah.
But, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. I don't have kids, so I can't judge it. So, you know what? Anyway, that's a topic for another show.
That's a topic for another show. But you know what? We've got a great show. We've got an amazing show. We are actually going to be talking about one of my favorite things, and that's people and good food. And we have a gentleman that actually made my day last year. Okay. And I still talk about it. Mm-hmm. I turned a big 5-0 last year and I had an amazing party at my house. Well, my thing was that I wanted to make sure I had exceptional food because anybody that knows me knows that when it comes to food, I'm like, I know all the good restaurants. I know all the good places to go, but I wanted to make it kind of a family-friendly event and have it at my home. And so I had it catered. Not only did I get a caterer, I literally believe I got the best caterer or one of the best caterers in Atlanta. This man understands food. He understands preparation. He understands class. He understands how to create a product that you put in your body that will create a feeling that will last forever. I mean, the man is just absolutely amazing. And his food is beautiful. That's the other thing. It was visually appealing, but it was also very, very tasteful. Because, a lot of times you can go to the fancy restaurants and it looks good, but you be like, well, this stuff ain't bland, right? Yeah. His stuff got flavor and everything. And by the way, I was blessed to run into him a little while ago, and I was like, man, you got to come on my show and talk about what you're doing. And so I am honored to have a man that is so good at his craft.
Okay, will you introduce this man?
I ain't going to introduce him. I'm going to introduce him the way I want to introduce him. I'm talking about Mr. Jarmel Calven with Right On Catering, Right On Time Catering.
Good afternoon. And I'd like to thank you, Donnie, for that warm welcome.
Thank you.
Greeting.
I wanted to give you a warm welcome. He was trying to cut me off.
It's all good. I really feel like you talked to me. I don't know if I'm that amazing.
I'm saying the first 5 minutes was great.
Definitely.
I'm saying it was just the last 5 was like, okay, let's get into it.
But I certainly appreciate it. And I thank you all for having me.
Thank you for doing what you did. We still talk about the food to this day.
Thank you.
And that party was last year. So I want to thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And I'm seeing what you're doing in the community, but you got to tell the people about yourself so they know who I'm talking about.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jarmel Calven, as Donnie has stated, and I'm the owner of Right On Time Catering, located out of Smyrna, Georgia, here in the metro Atlanta area.
Yeah.
And I provide a pretty good, what I like to believe, catering service to
Excellent
my people
catering
in the
experience.
community, where I offer catering, I offer in-home personal chefing, as well as preparing meals for those who are looking for meal prep options.
Yes.
So anything within the food service industry that you're looking for, you can come to me for some healthy options. You can come to me for, just if you're looking to be, just indulge for a little time or whatever. Anything.
Or for a party.
For a party.
Yeah.
Wedding.
But you do big events
bar
also.
Mitzvah.
Yeah.
Big events, anything. I'm your man. Just hit me up.
I love it. And how do they hit you up?
You can hit me up by contacting me at 706-296-6572. That's my cell phone number. And also via email at rightontime.ga@gmail.com. Again, that's rightontime.ga@gmail.com. Don't
Awesome.
hesitate to hit me up.
That's what's up. Now, do you have a location, like a restaurant, storefront, or anywhere that they could just come and stop in for lunch or something?
Not a storefront as of yet, but eventually that will come. Everyone's been asking me about it, and I'm just going to speak it into existence. I believe strongly in speaking things into existence. That's one of my goals, to one day have a booming restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, I just say one location. It may spread, to several locations. Maybe
you're gonna be international, dude.
Right. Thank you. That's what I'm talking. Speaking into existence.
Let me ask you, then, do you cater to, like, when you cater an event? Do you ask the people, the clients, what kind of food do you kind of ideally want, and is there anything like you stay away from?
Sure. I think it's important to get to know the customer and ask the customer first what they like before you just make any assumptions. So I typically go about it by asking them first what they like and some things that they're interested in, some of their favorite dishes. And often, a lot of people, they'll just tell me, I don't know, you can just freestyle, or you give me some suggestions. And I love taking that route as well,
Now, have you ever shocked anybody, like had some like fried chitlins or something like that?
You know what? I'm done with you.
No, I'm just saying. Because like he said, they'll say,
does
just
he
feel
even
free.
Look like, we got to talk about this real quick. He don't even look like he eats chitlins.
It doesn't matter. He just
might,
serves
I don't know.
It. He could just
serve it. Right.
But I'm saying that's what they say, feel free, surprise us. Right. That'll be a surprise, and they might not even know what it is.
But for me, that would be a horrible surprise because, I don't eat pork. So,
I don't eat pork either.
Yeah, I don't mess with
that. I had to cut back on.
But if you didn't check that box, he's like, well, what do you don't, eat? Because I'm assuming that you do ask, what is it that you don't want? Or,
exactly. Because, some people have allergens to weed or shellfish. But
nuts and stuff like that.
I'll definitely keep that in mind except for you, Donnie, you don't eat pork. When I do, come back again for an invite, I'll bring, some fried chitlins.
Please do. No, you ain't bringing no fried chitlins up in there. You can bring fried chitlins for Marty.
No, I'm going to pass on that. But it's a thing to know.
It is a thing to know.
Now, what got you into this, though?
Interesting. So what got me into cooking was, and why
don't we come back and talk about that? Because I want to really get into your story, because you do have an amazing story, and I want the people to get a chance to hear it.
Sure.
You're listening to Donnie Jones Live. I am Donnie the Tree Lady, certified arborist.
Yeah, and I'm Marty Ringer, certified person.
You silly dude.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah. Welcome back to Donnie Jones Live. I am certified arborist Donnie the Tree Lady.
And I am Marty McFly, that guy.
Yeah, and we are sitting here with Jarmel Calven of Right On Time Catering. My man, y'all, like I said, if y'all need a party or anything done, y'all got to talk to this man, because he made my 50th off the chain.
Most definitely.
Before we went to break, you were getting ready to talk a little bit about how you got into doing what you're doing. And the reason why I'm interested in it is because you're around food all the time, but you lean and fit. How do you do that?
Great question.
But I'm going to hold that thought, but you tell us how you got inside.
So it's real funny, because my uncle, the other day, I was at my aunt and uncle's house, and he was like, hey, man, all the great chefs got the pot belly, and, they just fat.
That's what I'm saying.
And so I've told myself, you know what? I'm taking a stand, and I'm going to be the anomaly.
I love it.
I wake up some days 7 o'clock in the morning and I just go to the gym. And that's one thing about me. Like I've always been able I should have ran cross country in high school, I think, but I've always just been able to run long distances. So
really,
it's nothing for me to go outside or indoor on a treadmill and just run 3 or 4 miles.
With no big deal.
No big deal.
Okay, I'm training for the Peachtree Road Race.
Yes.
And I'm struggling at 2 miles, man.
You know what?
You. And at 6 miles, we gotta go.
It's just,
oh, wow.
But see, I'm sure it's some time out, and I know you're gonna pace yourself to eventually work yourself up to where you can do that.
I have to, because on July 4th, I don't have a choice.
Just measure and track, your goal.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you'll be there. So.
Thank you, I appreciate that. But let's get into your story. How did you get into cooking?
How did you get it? Because a lot of brothers don't just grow up and say, I want to be a cook or a chef or, culinary skills.
Right.
Not normally.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So then
So, okay. So I'm from rural Georgia, Thompson, Georgia. Shout out to Thompson, Georgia. Shout out
Thompson,
to
Georgia's in the house.
That's right. So, growing up, I lived with my grandma and my granddad for a portion of my life when I was younger. And, I just always remember my grandma really cooking like some really good food.
Right.
And I would be in the kitchen and I would just always be, lifting up pots and trying to sneak and taste something. So she just eventually got aggravated with it. And she told me, if you're going to be in the kitchen, then you're going to start helping out. And so I was like, okay, cool. And I always just saw that as a way, if I'm in the kitchen helping out, I can like beat everybody to trying out the food.
I love it.
Plate to the side.
I love it.
And the interest just, really went from there. And I remember my first job in high school was working at a grocery store, and I would assist in the deli bakery and assist in the meat department of the store. And so just from seeing the way that different meats were cut
right.
and seeing how they were prepared, seeing how stuff was prepared in the deli bakery, I just was always fascinated in it,
Yeah.
And I was like, this is something that I can enjoy doing because even as a kid, I would notice. I would have toys. I always got whoopings for it. But I would get a toy, and the next day it was just torn up.
Uh-huh.
Or anything that, was given to me, I always had to find a way to alter it and make it better.
So you started doing that with food.
I started doing that with food. And I found myself, I'll go to a restaurant. If it's bland, I'll be like, cool, let me just sit this right here. When we get home, we're going to doctor this up and fix it.
Okay.
So, working at the grocery store, I would spend my check and just buy food. I know it's weird. Like,
that's not weird, but you were starting to find yourself. But at what point did you go, I'm going to do this for a living? Like, I'm going to take my time. Because you went to culinary school, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
I thought you did.
I didn't.
Okay. Well, then how did you learn to make all that pretty stuff and all the artsy thing you did at my birthday with the food? How did you learn to do that?
Just a lot of practice. I always heard.
You watch YouTube videos, man.
I watch YouTube. No.
Go ahead.
I watch YouTube. As a kid, I used to watch Emerald Live. I read a lot of culinary books. So I'm always just practicing. I heard this saying the other day, and it said, people are rewarded in public for what they spend years practicing in private. So I'm really just trying to take that quote and just live by it, So that's how I go about it. That's how I'm able to make things look presentable.
But that means that you have a natural gift for it, because not everybody can do that. I put stuff on the table sometimes, and my kids be like, Daddy, can you cook?
Yeah.
And that was how, like, my mom, she would tell me.
And I can cook. It's just my kids picky. Go ahead.
My mom, she would tell me that. She would be like, sometimes I'd be like, I'm gonna pass. She'd be like, well, if you want something that you really like, you can always just go cook it. And I'd be like, I will go cook it.
Okay.
And so,
well, what's your favorite thing to cook? Because that's what we're here to talk about, is that what you do at Right on Time Catering. I love entrepreneurs and I love entrepreneurship. And I know in the next segment, we'll talk about entrepreneurship and what you're doing to grow your business and see if there's any little things that I can help you with.
Sure.
But right now, we're here to talk about you and your food in this segment.
My favorite thing to cook probably would be any Spanish dishes.
Oh,
I think I'm really addicted to Spanish food.
Now, did you have Spanish influences or just from?
I don't, I just always like tacos. So now
You didn't make no taco stuff for me.
You know, I didn't know if you're. I'm always trying to.
That's true. That wasn't on the menu.
That wasn't it, right?
So, I really like Spanish food. And out in Smyrna, there's a lot of Spanish influence.
Okay.
Huge Spanish culture. So I started going to the restaurants there and eating.
You weren't taking their recipes, man, was you?
No, that's exactly what I did.
Okay.
It's a taco restaurant out in Smyrna. And I actually go there all the time. And I asked one of the guys, hey, how are you all making this carne asada? And he just told me. Before
I stopped eating meat, that was actually one of my favorite things was carne asada. And then my brother-in-law is from El Salvador. And so every time we had a big, family get together, we would make carne asada. So, yeah. So you got to find a way. How can I eat carne asada or something like carne asada?
What is
that's
carne
not meat?
Asada?
Carne, it's like, you explain it.
Carne asada is steak with a number of different Spanish seasonings on it. Some add paprika, smoked paprika, cumin, lime.
Okay, you just give up. Because I'm getting poca asana and poca.
No, it's carne asada.
Carne asada.
I know, and
it's like it's skirt steak.
Right.
Okay.
Steak. It's really good.
So but with your catering business, Right on Time Catering, what is it you're known for? Like, what do people go, wow, Calven, that's what you're known for?
That's a difficult question because I cook so much and people, different people ask for different things.
Yeah.
I guess, and I say this humbly, I guess I would just really be known for providing good food.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Well, that's how we met you. Sierra, the lady that does all my parties, she was like, Donnie, you're going to love this man. He goes, if you put it in your head, he can put it on your plate.
Let me back up. If I had to say one thing, it would definitely be the lemon and dill salmon with the cream sauce.
Oh. Okay, you gonna make some of that this evening? No, I'm just kidding.
I can. I certainly can.
Now you said you do personal chef service too. How does that work?
Yes. That works if have clients who would like me to come into the home and cook for them, and just pay me for a designated time period. Then I'm certainly able to do that as well. A lot of people just don't feel like cooking, so if you're looking to hire a personal chef who can just prepare meals for you, then hey, I'm your guy.
You know what? We might need to talk. Because I do not like to cook. Well, better yet, I can't cook.
But your wife cooks, though, right?
She ain't listening to this program. I'm gonna make sure of that. But
well, I can definitely. Hey, that's why I'm here. I can definitely say today
have to
for
work
you.
something out.
There you go.
There you go. I can just say today for you.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And you said that you got to tell me about this salmon because that is literally one of my favorites to eat is salmon.
Okay.
What's your secret ingredient in the salmon?
My secret ingredient in the salmon is the fresh dill.
Okay.
That's one thing I take very serious. When I cook, I always make sure, and you can go on my page, I have several videos and pictures where I always use fresh quality ingredients. I think that's really important. And it's just using fresh dill, oven-baked salmon, really juicy. Some people tend to dry salmon.
Okay, why you got to be calling me out? Because that's what my daughter says. What am I doing wrong with my salmon? Because sometimes I cook it, it's on point, and it's still flaky and juicy. And other times, it's like a tire.
Just throw it up against the wall.
Yeah, pretty much. What am I doing wrong?
You're likely just over-baking it.
Okay.
Just over-baking it. Or you may just want to cover it when you do let it cook.
I do cover it.
You do?
I put a little olive oil down.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I turn the salmon, over and over so that it has the little olive oil on both sides. I do a little sea salt, a little pepper, and sometimes I might do like a little lemon and garlic.
Okay.
And I drizzle a little honey across the top, and then I cover it with foil and cook it. And then sometimes the flavor will be good, but it's like too dry.
Skin side down?
Skin side down.
Man.
What?
I don't know.
Because that sound good.
I'm trying to figure out where you're going wrong. Like,
and it's about 15 minutes, right?
It's about 15, 20.
Okay. What am I doing wrong? Because my stuff is, I'm serious. Sometimes it comes out really good, and then sometimes it comes out dry. And my kids call me out on it.
Are you following the same steps every time? See, what I told myself I have to do when something comes out really good, I have to record how I did it, write it down. So
see, I'm bad with writing stuff down. I am.
That's the key. That's the key.
Okay, to write it down.
Because I found it's very frustrating to have like a finished product come out really good.
So
and you tell yourself, I'm going to remember it. And then you want to cook it like 2 weeks later and you just forgot 1 or 2 steps.
Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
But I can definitely help you out.
How can they get in contact with you again?
Yes. You can get in contact with me again at 706-296-6572 or at rightontime.ga@gmail.com. And I'm also on Instagram at rightontime.ga. Again, that's rightontime.ga. Make sure y'all go follow me. It's
I know, right?
A lot of great content. It's going to make you hungry. I promise you it will.
I love it. I love it. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship because that was the other thing we want to talk about. But we will be right back. I'm Donnie the Tree Lady.
And I'm Marty McFly. And we'll be right back.
Yeah. You are listening to Donnie Jones Live. I am certified arborist, Donnie the Tree Lady.
And I am a non-certified brother, I guess.
That's just a lot to say, man. I don't know if I'm going to say that. But everybody keeps telling me I need to talk about that, whatever.
You do. I'm saying because a lot of people don't, they might forget that you were a tree lady.
Exactly.
The real tree.
A real tree. There you go.
Right. Yeah, real tree.
Yeah,
lady.
Don't be creeping up on my car at 8:30 and 9:30 at night. Talking, hey man, no, I'm talking about I cut down trees, trim trees, prune trees, whatever. But we are sitting here talking to Jarmel Calven from Right on Time Catering. And before we went to the break, we were talking about what were we talking about? The favorite foods or
you know what? Some places where where can we get, well, we were talking about that off camera.
Yeah, that's true. Off camera, that's right.
And some things that I wanted to make sure of. You are certified, right?
Yeah.
Because because I remember we were talking about it earlier. You just said you didn't go to school. You just But now, how do you
just woke up one morning?
Right.
And
I just want
no,
because I got a friend in Riverdale who just decided he wanted to sell hot dogs.
Okay.
And he found a barbecue grill that he could hook up to the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And he just started going around and started selling hot dogs to people.
Right.
I know that's illegal.
I think it is.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Well, I think, but you've got all the licenses, business licenses.
I have my Safe certification, for cleanliness. My LLC is certified through the Georgia Corporation Division. I have my EIN number through the IRS.
And you're you're getting too deep now.
No, you need to know this. Are you insured? Like if somebody choke on one of your chicken bones, are you insured for stuff like that?
Yes, I am insured.
Okay, that's awesome. But
I'm dusty on the CPR now, so
that's
we may have to wait for EMS to pull up.
Exactly. But the food tastes so good, you ain't gonna choke on it. You'll be all right. But you were saying something funny about finding good because you said your thing is kind of a Spanish influence.
Yes.
And obviously you can come make it for them and make it good and stuff like that. But you said something funny about ways to know that you're at a good, authentic place. You got to tell people, how do you know you're at a good, authentic place?
So my man Sam sitting in front of me, he was asking me, about my opinion on this certain restaurant. I told him, it's average, it'll do. And he asked me, what was my favorite, and I told him Los Tacos Villas in Smyrna. And I was telling him, there's the difference is one is Tex-Mex and one is really authentic street Mexican food. Mm-hmm. And so we got into this discussion on how do you know, what are the indicators?
Yeah, how do you know, what's the indicator that this is an authentic, awesome place to eat, Mexican?
The first indicator is a packed parking lot. And, people, I generally like to gauge how people are acting. If it's a packed parking lot or people are acting like they're on edge to get inside.
Well, people do like that at Chili's, though. Chili's ain't,
maybe in the 90s or the early 2000s. I ain't seen nobody. Mm-hmm. I see tumbleweed in Chili's parking lots now when I ride by.
I'm showing my age.
But when you go to like a really authentic place, you may see a mosquito or two, people may be speaking, broken English, but I promise you, that's some of the best.
It's the best food. Okay.
Some of the best food ever.
With that hard accent.
The hard accent.
But you know what? It's the same with soul foods because
exactly.
I mean, aside from This Is It, which is off the chain. This is off the chain. They good stuff. But like a lot of soul food places, you'd be scared to look at the rating, the health rating, but the stuff be so good.
Sometimes I just, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder.
Go with the flow.
I don't want to,
go with the flow.
If I do a word of mouth. If people have went there for years and they've never gotten sick, I'm just gonna say a quick prayer.
I was in Decatur and I had my girls with me, and I wanted to take them to, because even though I don't eat meat anymore, I still eat the sides and stuff. It's so good. I walk in the door ready to eat my little black eyed peas, side of greens, just a little bit. Because let me finish the story. Okay, that's why I can't say where we're at. But oh my God, it was so good. So I walk in there to order my food, and my girl stopped at the door. And I was like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "We can't eat here." I was like, "Why?" She goes, "Look." And so on the wall, it had like an 81 or a 79. And she's like, "We can't eat here. It's 90. It's below 90. I was like, "Are you serious?" So I had to turn around because my kids would not eat there.
Are you serious?
They would not eat there.
You actually turned around because of that?
Because we were there to eat lunch.
And they said they would not.
Say, you
can't make them eat if they don't want to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Would you make your kids eat something they didn't want to eat someplace they didn't want to eat?
The way my mother raised us,
eat it or wear it.
You're right. I'm saying it's not like you had options. It's like you gonna eat this or you ain't gonna eat. It's
go to bed hungry.
Well,
right. Go to
this
bed
is
hungry.
lunch. We're not talking dinner. We're talking about lunch.
And y'all had lunch. I told you had a bougie family.
Yeah.
Everybody had lunch, okay?
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
No, not everybody.
Okay, you know what I mean. Okay, I know not everybody has lunch. I do know that. I know there are starving people in the world. You had lunch.
No, I did not.
Marty.
What? I got bullied.
Okay.
At school, I got bullied by a girl named Rashida, so I didn't have lunch.
Okay, let's get into it.
She was like a 6'4".
It sounds believable.
Okay.
It does. It really does.
She had a ponytail about
Jarmel,
a half an inch.
I'm hurt.
It was a struggle. It was
right. Just let
get
a rubber band around it. Yep. That's a true story.
Okay, Jarmel.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh man,
we
I'm
ran
almost in
into
tears.
each other. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur. You're a successful businessman. But one of the other things that I love to do is talk about entrepreneurship, which I'm trying to make a segue. What were some of the things that are still a concern of you, even though you have a successful business? Some things that we could talk about that might help other people that are entrepreneurs.
One of the things that's a concern of mine right now is how to scale a business. Mm-hmm. When you realize that you need to come up with a business model for scalability, when you see that traffic is growing, I still struggle with that. And I'm sure many other people who, don't have all the know-how are still, trying to wrap their mind about how to scale, how to know when to hire, how to hire, help, because you can't always trust people. People don't share the same passion for what you do.
And that's why it's important that you get the right people, and I will say the one thing I have been blessed with is good people, and we're still growing our business too, but I know that coming from where you're at, I believe I could be of some value.
Certainly.
Based on some of the things that we talked about. Do you have systems in place that you can teach other people how to duplicate what you're doing? Because if what you're doing is not duplicatable, it's going to be hard to scale it. Understand what I mean?
Yes.
So do you have recipes in place? Do you have ways that you do things? How you set up when you go to a job? Like, are you able, like, for example, with my company, I'm not there on the job site. My guys know exactly what to do, where to set the trucks, where to set up for the jobs, how to set the ropes and stuff like that. And they teach that to the next crew that we bring on board.
A methodology.
Of doing things. So have you one of the first things I would do is set up a system of how you do things and document that system so that you can teach it to someone else. Another thing that I do feel like I'm still working on is making sure you have budgets in place. Making sure you're setting aside a certain percentage of your income for a rainy day, so that you can scale your business. And then always working on yourself to become better at what you do. And also connecting with other people in the industry, because one of your things for scaling, I'm just connected with another tree service, or a gentleman that's actually just getting a tree service, but he's got contracts with the city. And so in order to scale my business, I'm working with other companies that are helping my company grow, and I'm in turn helping them grow also. Even though it's still my guys doing it, it's a way for me to get my foot in the door to grow my business. So you might want to connect with other caterers that have bigger jobs that you can start connecting with and basically networking with them to scale your business, or bring on people on what's that other word? Contractor, a contractor that also cooks, or like another chef. So say you've got maybe you're not ready to hire somebody full time, but there's somebody else that's a chef that will actually listen to what you say, do what you've done, and can duplicate what you've done, so that when you get bigger orders or you go get a big event and you want to grow your business, you can have them come on board when needed. And then as you do that, put some of those resources aside so that you can bring somebody on full time.
That was some really helpful information. It was a lot to consume. And so we're really gonna, have to, pick back up on this. But
do a good part 2 of that.
Yeah,
certainly do a part 2.
Part 2 on that. We didn't even got time for another question. What were you gonna say?
But I was gonna just do a small one. Like, how do people contact you? I'm saying, like, promotion. Are you promoting yourself? I'm saying, and how are you doing that?
Certainly promoting myself. Right now through IG, promoting through flyers and things of that nature. Just trying to push out a lot of digital content. And I'll be honest, I'm still learning from a marketing aspect the best ways, to drive, notice and everything to the business.
Right.
So,
and do you do breakfast?
I do breakfast as well.
Okay.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner,
I want
brunch,
lunch, all of that.
You can do it all
late night snacks, anything, hors d'oeuvres.
Well, once again, how do people get in contact with you? I know you just mentioned Instagram, but we always want to be keeping your name out there.
You get in contact with me. Again, my phone number is 706-296-6572. My email is rightontime.ga@gmail.com. And my Instagram, which I check my DMs on Instagram several times a day, I'm at rightontime.ga. Check it out. Thank you.
Yeah. Now,
I was going to say, Donnie, if they want to get in contact with you, how would they get in contact with you? Because
you can reach me at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. I'll spell that because there's so many different ways to spell Donnie, but it's DONI, Jones, JONES, live@gmail.com. We're going to take a quick break and start to wrap up, but I want to talk a little bit about some of your influences and what inspires you, because I think that's kind of some good information to know. Once again, guys, you're listening to Donnie Jones Live. I am the certified arborist, Donnie the Tree Lady.
And I am not the certified arborist, Marty McFly. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Donnie Jones Live. I am certified arborist, Donnie the Tree Lady.
And I am Marty McFly.
Yeah, and we are here with Jarmel Calven with Right On Time Catering.
Right.
Dude.
First name.
Everybody says that every time I was a child.
But you don't consider it 2 first names. You just consider it your name.
Last name. Exactly.
I ain't mad at you. I wish people could get a chance to see. Well, they do get a chance to see the behind the scenes stuff. We were just talking about, when does avocado become guacamole? Why don't you answer that question? And the world is waiting.
I was just telling Sam, technically, avocado makes its transition to guacamole the minute it's smashed. Smashed up and so
smooth. You don't have to put the lime and stuff in there and the tomatoes to make it avocado guacamole?
Not if you don't want to. I've been to restaurants and it was just plain, plain avocado. It's not my preference. I'm gonna jazz it up,
Right.
But if that's what you want, hey, it's guacamole once the avocado is smashed up.
I ain't mad at you.
Now, I'm curious. You said something earlier that you don't eat pork anymore, right?
Right.
Now, I'm just curious, what made you make that transition, or what that decision?
I just made a decision not to eat pork. I saw the video. I don't know if it's true. I saw the video with the Coca-Cola where they poured the Coca-Cola over the pork and it had like
trichina worms.
Yeah, some type of worms coming out of it. And I was like, that's weird. And it's just something that, it's high in fat content and everything.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Sometimes, after
But we are in the South, so we are. The people want their pulled pork sandwich.
You eat it sometimes.
No, I won't. I've never even eaten it.
So.
Well, no, that's not true. Because what happened was I did used to eat it and I didn't know I was eating it. I didn't acknowledge that I was eating it, but I used to go to Houston's and I would get the Houston's veggie burger with the barbecue beans because I thought the meat that was in the beans was like some kind of soy protein or whatever. because I never read the description. A friend of mine let me taste his, and because he was eating a veggie burger, I thought the beans were vegetarian also. So I tasted them. So like 10 years down the road, never looking at the menu, always going to Houston, get a veggie burger, barbecue beans. This waitress was like, I said, I'm going to get the veggie burger with the beans. And she goes, the barbecue beans? I was like, yep. She goes, are you vegetarian? I was like, no, but I like the veggie burger and I like vegetarian stuff. And she goes, well, you know, the beans have pork in them. I was like, no, they don't. No, they don't. I was like, that is not true. She's like, yes, it is. I was like, no, it's not. Not today. So I ate it for another 2 years, and then I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
How does beans have pork in it?
It's got like little pieces of pork in it.
Okay.
So, you know.
I don't know. It's always temptation out here. I don't know what I'm going to do this summer when I pull up to that cookout and those spare ribs and baby back ribs are sitting
You can get beef ribs.
Yeah.
What
I
about
can't.
beef
It's the same.
It's not the same.
See, but when I ate meat, I used to eat beef ribs, though.
Somebody
and I thought they were
understand.
awesome.
It's not the same. It's not the same. Like the barbecue sauce on the ribs, the baby back
Beef
pork
ribs,
I'm
telling you, brisket.
Oh, I love brisket. But
See, that's what I'm
I
saying.
need that rib.
I want to ask this is a side question because it's a lot of these reality TV shows and everything.
Yeah.
Will we see you on a cooking reality show?
You know what? Everybody just keeps speaking it into existence. My friend shared a post. I was in a newspaper article the other day with Voyage ATL.
That's what it was.
That's what
okay,
it was.
yeah.
And I posted it on Facebook, and it got several reposts. One of my friends was like, man, you're going to end up one day on the cooking channel. And so many of my friends just keep saying, one day, man, you're going to end up on a show.
I think you will.
That's speaking it into existence. I'm a firm believer that even sometimes when you may not be able to see it, other people see things in you that you can't see in yourself.
Yeah.
And so they speak life into it. And, I speak life into things as well.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, I guess I remember what I was going to ask you about was going into your inspiration. What inspires you, or who has inspired you in your journey?
What's inspired me has just been family, friends, people who sometimes when I get discouraged, keep letting me know, hey, man, you have like a really great product and service.
Yeah.
Just keep going with it. The late rapper, Nipsey Hussle, I don't know if you all are familiar with him.
Yeah.
Definitely his music, the words that he spoke in his interview were always very inspirational. He spoke very intelligently. So those are just some things. God also inspires
Absolutely. Me too.
The word of God, things that you can find. I don't know how many of y'all out there are biblical and, religious, but the things that are said in the Bible also, just about having faith, those are words of encouragement, I believe.
Well, I think a large part of our audience are people of faith. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but Minister Marty over here, he's a pastor.
Okay.
Yeah, on the weekends.
He's
It's only on the weekends.
You are too funny.
No, but he straight up is, like with a robe, a congregation, pulpit, like for real.
The whole thing, yeah.
And the whole baptisms and everything.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
You want to know, do you do
When I have to, yeah. No, yeah, but that's the weekend.
He drink the
thing.
communion juice, though. He did.
You ever thought about just leaving somebody down there for 30 seconds too long?
The ones that I really don't like. Oh yeah.
awesome.
Lord ain't finished with you yet.
You silly. He's going to drown him. But, that's awesome to hear you're a man of faith. Because, I think in today's society, people, they love God. They want to have a relationship with God. But people are starting to shy away from talking about their faith because that you're being put in a pigeonhole. But I want more and more people to talk about their faith, not from a religious aspect of it, from a relationship aspect of it, and I always joke with Marty and say, well, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, but I really am, because I believe that, God has a plan for all of us,
Oh yeah.
and just because somebody's walk is different from your walk does not mean that their walk is not valid,
Exactly.
So,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. And I just say whoever your higher being is, spend time with them.
yes.
And I'd say at least, I'll put it like this, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Yeah.
At least 14 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And I'll say it like this: if I gave you $1,440 every single day, what would you do with it? But now you can't save it.
I would cover your payroll.
Well, but you can't save it and you can't roll it over to the next day.
Right.
It's like, really, what would you do with it?
Yeah.
The concept is you have you have 1,440 minutes every day that you can't get back.
Yeah.
You know, what do you invest that time in? And 10% of that is 14 minutes that you can spend with your higher being.
Wow.
You know, every day that you can't get that back. So even if it is working on my payroll, you can work, you know, put some of those minutes in working on that
That's
payroll
right.
check,
That's right.
you know,
Absolutely.
or like if it's, you know, your child's education, you know, now you can put some time in helping little dumb Ricky, you know, study at night, you know, in the sense of putting in that time for the grades, you know, but in the sense, put in that extra time with your higher being, because people say all the time, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual.
Right.
Okay, now what do you do with that? Nothing.
Right. Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Do you pray?
Right. Do you pray?
Do you meditate?
You know,
do you volunteer?
I feel like that's a uncommitted relationship. You know, that's a relationship with no rules.
I don't know if you're trying to say something, but I am very committed. You know that, though. Okay.
Yeah, to your husband. I'm saying.
I'm committed to my Lord and Savior. I'm committed to God. I'm committed to all of that.
And I was reading, you know, whether it's God or whatever, you know, you commit to, we often say that we love it. And I was reading where love is not an expression, but love is actually an act.
It's an action. That's right.
It's an action. So if you do have something that you believe in, you have to act on it, and you have to act on it by following up with it and spending time with it.
That's right. Spend time with your higher power. In these last few minutes, how has faith played a role in your life?
Yeah.
That is a great question.
I know, that's why I asked it. I'm good like that.
Faith has played a role in my life because really I believe as an entrepreneurship, your faith is constantly tested. And, you know, faith is the substance of things hoped for. And, you know, with having faith, you know, that substance, we all want to get towards the light.
Yeah.
And if you have faith, the substance is like the little flashes.
Yeah, it's the evidence.
It's the evidence
that it's going to happen.
Those little flashes are the evidence that those things will happen. So you just have to seriously have faith that it'll happen. And whoever you believe in will show you small flashes of light to keep you motivated.
That's right.
And you'll eventually get towards the sun.
How has your faith been tested in your business?
My faith has been tested several times. I've cooked amazing food before, thought it would sell, and it really didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, I must suck. No. You know, like, man, like nobody is really, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody supported me, or, you know, no one wants to fool with me. But then, you know, maybe a week later, I'll go out and I'll do another event, and people just are really gravitating towards it. So that'll remind me, hey, man, don't give up. Like, that'll be that little flash of light. Like, it's still going to work. You'll still get towards this big, you know, the end.
That's awesome. And it is going to work. And it is already working. That's, like I said, you know, people are still talking about the food that you prepared at my birthday. And that's what was so great about us running into each other, because I'm so inspired by what you do. Because you're a young person doing this. I mean, it ain't like you're not 50 years old, right?
No,
okay, I was going to say, you might be younger than you. Exactly. But, you know, I'm loving what you're doing, because you're a young person out there following your dreams and making it happen. Once again, how can people get in contact with you?
Yep.
Again, you can get in contact with me via email at rightontime.ga@gmail.com. You can get in contact with me through Instagram at rightontime.ga or via cell phone at 706-296-6572.
I love it.
And it is,
I love it.
Your business is called Right on Time.
Right on time.
That's right. That means you be on time, right?
Right. Always on time.
And Donnie, how can they get in contact with us again?
They can reach us at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's Donnie, D-O-N-I, Jones, J-O-N-E-S, live, L-I-V-E, @gmail.com. It has been a pleasure to have you on the show, Jarmel. And as always, Marty.
Yes,
I'm loving you too.
I'm loving you.
I'm loving you too.
Yes. And you have a lovely.
Loving you.
No. Let's just go. Let's just go. You know, I was a boy. That's called.
Right, I know. I called them into existence. But you guys, have a great week. Love on somebody. Be kind to someone. Enjoy your life and follow your dreams.